Hello. In this video, I want to talk about why I cover my head. Before I start, I want to state that this video is for the sisters in Christ. With everything I say, please take it to the Lord in prayer. Let me start by giving you a glimpse into my background. I was brought up in a holiness church where the women were taught to wear dresses and skirts and not to wear makeup and to cover their head when going to church. I will say for myself, in the beginning of my walk, I would want to dress like everyone else in the world with the pants because I didn't want to stand out of the crowd. And that was during my early teens and early 20s. But the Lord touched my heart and showed me how He wanted me to look from a dream He gave me. And in the dream, I distinctively remember having my head covered with a head wrap. So after that dream, I started dressing how the Lord showed me He wanted me to dress. And I also started wearing the head wrap or a head covering when I went out and about. I remember one day as I was maturing in Christ, I had another believer with a different faith challenge me to remove my head covering. I remember the lady thinking that I wore the head wrap too much. Even though I was attending a prayer meeting with other ladies that didn't believe that they should cover their head. I am not going to go too much into this topic, but in the Bible it talks about women covering their head when they pray or prophesy. Some say that your hair is a covering, which it is, but I like to add a second covering to my head when I pray because I feel comfortable doing that and I want to have a spirit of obedience. Some believe there is just one covering that is spoken about in the Bible. But I believe there are two coverings that they talk about in the Bible. For me, the easier route would be to just say that my hair is my covering when I pray. But the harder thing to do would be to use a second covering on my head when I pray. So for me personally, the Lord doesn't let me take the easy route that everyone else likes to take. So I take the harder route by covering my head with an additional material when praying. And now it has become an easy routine for me since it's became a habit. And so for me, so far, the Lord has not pricked me to my heart and say that I'm out of order by having my head covered when I pray. I remember also in the Word that it talks about a woman should cover her head to show that she's under authority because of the angels, which lets me know that there is an order to God's kingdom, and I want to fall in place and not just conform to what the majority of the Christians are doing. On this walk with Christ, the road gets narrower, where when you're truly seeking God and to obey Him. I truly believe that as the Lord starts to refine you, that you have less and less people around you walking the same road you are. Because the things that are harder to obey will cause others to stop or just turn around and take the easier route. But our walk to Christ is not easy, and we truly have to endure and overcome everything that is not like Him. So if you are confused about whether something is for you to do, just pray about it and learn to take up your cross and endure until the end. So some may say, I am being self-righteous or too religious, but that is my desire. But that is not the case. My desire is to be obedient to the Lord. Let me say, I am not trying to push my faith on anyone. I am simply sharing where the Lord has me on this walk with Christ. So my point is that I dress modestly and cover my head to please the Lord. When I leave the house, I ask the question, am I pleasing to the Lord? So when you think you have arrived with your relationship with Christ, just ask the Lord, have I submitted to your will and way for my entire life? I pray that this message is a blessing to someone. May God continue to bless and keep you in His perfect will.